Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Kelley Shiels. She leads the Stars in digs this season. And talk about what went into your emergence as the team's libero this year.
Well, I started out in off season. Obviously, I was nagging my coach about what do I need to do to be libero, and he wanted consistency, and he wanted perfect serve receive. So I just worked on that a lot, and clearly he noticed it. So that's where he made his decision, I guess.
Earlier this year, you had a match where you were able to get 30 digs in a match, kind of an exclusive group there.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Well, I was actually, after the game, I remember I was really surprised I had 30 digs because we didn't even end up winning that game, but maybe that's what drove me to not let a ball hit the floor and just make sure everything was up so we could get as many points as we could to hopefully win the game. But in the end, their blocking ended up beating us out. So.
What expectations do you have for the team moving forward?
Well, obviously peaking in the conference tournament, and then I've always played on teams in high school where, we start out really level-headed in the match, and then, we kill the team in the first game, and then the next game we get just too cocky and then end up losing that game. And then that brings us to the feeling of, oh, no, we're awful, and then we get way too timid and lose that game too. So I think staying level-headed, to me, is something that helps people win games.
You came to OCU from Florida. What are the differences between back home and here in Oklahoma City?
Well, volleyball-wise, I honestly couldn't really tell you, only because I played club in Florida and I played high school volleyball in Florida. But as far as I've seen, though, we've held some tournaments here. Volleyball-wise, I think there's probably more talent here than where I was in Florida. Obviously, there's so much talent coming out of Florida, but specifically in Bradenton, there just weren't as many opportunities to play. And then I think just city-wise, there's a lot more young people here than I've definitely lived in a retirement city, so there's a lot more, nightlife here. So,
what brought you to OCU?
I'm a huge fan of performing arts, so that was I basically wanted to come here whether I played volleyball or not, and I was lucky enough to get on the team. So,
what's your major here?
I am majoring in accounting, and then I'm getting a minor in English.
So what are your career plans following volleyball?
I'm going to get my master's and then sit for the CPA exam. So I want to go into public accounting.
Great. Talking to Superstar Athlete of the Week, Kelley Shiels, and coming up next, we'll talk to her coach, Steele.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org.
Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to volleyball coach Steele. The Stars are 4-2 in Sooner Athletic Conference play, just about the halfway point of the season. And Coach Kristen Macy had a career-high 26 kills against Benedictine recently. Talk about how important she is to your squad.
She is our constant, 4 kills a set, offensive leader. And when she gets after it on the defensive end, we're that much better too. She's been up there in digs per set as well, close to leading our team in a lot of matches too. So she's just been a much more consistent force in the last 7 to 8 matches than she probably ever has been in her career, which has been stellar for us.
You've adjusted where Megan Irwin has been playing recently. Talk about what went into that decision.
Well, when we had our starting setter go down with a couple of broken bones in her finger and hand, we were trying to figure out a way that we could get Megan the ball more, just because she's one of our more dynamic hitters, and we were struggling with some control in a tournament in Kansas last weekend. And so we had to get her the ball, so I said, let's put her on the outside for a match and for a first set even, and let's see how this goes. And I think she ended up going for 5 or 6 kills in that set, and so I think we're going to stick with this for a while. And her, just consistent power. She's been really high volume kills. We're, continuing to work through some of the errors playing a new position, which you're going to make when you start playing a new position. But her power as an outside has honestly helped. We talked about Krista Macy has helped Macy be able to relax a little bit and play a little bit more free, not having to carry so much of the load from the left side of the court.
To go along with that, Heather Watson has now emerged as the starting setter for you. Talk about the job she's done.
She's really done a nice job setting the ball. Her location, we've always known her location is really good, and so we're still working through obviously some decision-making things where she hasn't been in a 5-1 scenario much. Not a real serviceable blocker, but we're trying to adjust our defense over the top of her in some scenarios when she's blocking. But I mean, most of the time she's right at 10 or more assists per set, which is, that's up there in the top of the conference right now. So she's really done a nice job stepping in for an injured player at this point. So.
You guys have played several nationally ranked teams over the last few weeks. What kind of a measuring stick has that given to your team?
It's funny that our record, in the last couple weeks has not been obviously what I'd like it to be as a coach, but I feel like we've made progress and I feel like we've gotten better. And we've really figured out some things offensively. In the last couple of matches, being OBU, Wayland, Baker, we probably played well enough offensively to win those matches. We just got to figure out some things on defense in order to give ourselves a chance. But if we're 20 all against nationally ranked teams going into the last 5 points of a set, we've given ourselves those chances and just haven't been able to come up with stops late. But that's some of the things we're working through right now. But offensively, I put us in the top 25 in the country. So,
what did competing in athletics teach you?
It's funny because you don't really realize it until probably after you're done or when you're going through something else in life down the road. But it really teaches you how to work with people, number one, and not just be butting heads with coworkers all the time and wonder why you have a problem with this person and that person. So it teaches you how to be a good teammate, but it also teaches you the work ethic that is necessary to succeed in whatever else you're going to do in life when you're done with volleyball. Volleyball's not going to last forever for some people, and for a lot of people it ends after 4 years in college. So, but that work ethic, that time spent, the qualities that you need to succeed at whatever you're going to do, you know what the amount of time it takes now. What the effort you have to put forward to succeed and get better at something in life and succeed, whether it be in the workplace, in a sport, or whatever you're going to do as a parent, whatever it may be. So that's what it's taught me. Yeah.
All right, Coach. Thanks very much. Talking to volleyball coach Kyle Steele. The Stars are just about at the halfway point of their season. You can follow their progress on OCUsports.com.